where nothing bad at all can ever happen, because it's the safest place in all of the known multiverse. Everyone knows that, right? But
Yes. Very
in
safe.
yes, I mean it's not like they've been in prison, almost killed by random creatures the entire time they've been here. But in the most recent episode of the party's little vacation, they began to explore the city of Shinoris, situated in the center of the Dark Lake, a place that is supposed to be truly safe, but where there seems to be something off, and the party don't know quite what. They've gone around, spoken to a good few people, and found out a bit more from one of the Myconids there about potential more details about a potential wedding, as well as that there may be some sort of situation which is preventing the proper growth of mushrooms and other fungi in the mushroom farm. The party have been advised that the person to speak to about this is the ruler of the town and the creator of the metallic peacekeeper units and the metallic warblers, known simply as Shootar's Metaleye. They have also stolen from one of the wizards in the town, as well as bought a bunch of stuff, and including Bibble, Scale Mill, which is currently being fitted out for and will be ready at some point. But we ended the last session with the party arriving outside Shootar's Metaleye's home, which is quite obvious to see because it is in basically neon lighting above the door. And standing either side of the door are two of these peacekeepers. Greetings, guests. How may we be of assistance?
Oh, hi. We're here to talk to Metaleye.
You wish to speak to Lord Metaleye. Do you have an appointment?
Yes. Right now.
Checking records. Oh, shut up, you pesky pieces of bolts. Let him in. You know I'm not busy. Sorry. They're so useful, but at times they're just, such a pain. Anyway, come in. Make yourself... Don't make yourselves at home, but come into the study.
Oh, that was easy.
Greetings.
Oh, we got a mic in it. You don't see a lot of your folk around here.
Yeah, I just let loose some reports forward and make myself known.
Yeah, well, let me just... Sure, because I said no, come in.
Yeah, I noticed you had another Myconid downstairs. He's the one who told me to come see you. Said you had trouble.
Yeah, this story's a bit of a bitch sometimes, but what can you do? Anyway, yeah, troubles. Did he say what kind of troubles?
Yeah, you had some place that was off limits because of an outbreak.
Yeah. Hey, out of my barrel storage. You don't know what's in there?
I'd like to know.
Well, he clicks his fingers and the door locks. Anyway, yeah, the grotto. Yeah, what people have those who are in the know have nicknamed the grotto gremlins. That's not really the right sort of term either. What was it that was down there? I've been so busy working on improving my peacekeepers, I've kind of lost track, but I do need that area sorted, so Uh, Enemies. He actually just check something. Unit 6, what is it down there? And then, as this is said, you all hear a whirring behind you near one of the chairs in the corner. And a figure begins to assemble itself, forming into this.
Oh,
Let me get the art for this for you.
Into what?
Into a robotic figure, though different to the others. This one appears to be more bronze than silver. Looks like this.
yeah, I've just come to the realization my kids might not be able to speak with automatons and the robots.
Yeah, they probably
Well,
just ignoring you.
well,
Oh,
Unit 6 reporting. The creatures down there, well, creatures is wrong word. They are, in fact, plant life. That is making the area dangerous to work.
well, we can help, right, guys? I just want to help my Myconid friend.
I just want to kill some stuff.
Well,
Can we drive them out instead of killing them, maybe?
it is a possibility. We have not, our attempts have not yet worked. But,
Like pesticide or something.
Wow, well, Unit 6, you can disassemble yourself again now. It nods and just shrinks down and seems to form into a small cylinder which curls up behind one of the chairs.
Oh,
Alright, right, yes. So that's what's down there. Yep, there's a small
okay.
there's a small tube down there, that's all you see.
Get up.
It seems abnormally heavy.
Got attempt to pick it up.
You certainly can try.
Do I need to make a roll for that?
Yeah, athletics.
Yeah, I'm good at this. That's not bad actually,
You
considering.
actually do manage to pick it up.
How does that fit into such a small little thing?
It's a trade secret, that one is.
Huh.
It's all about, if you know enough about time, you can compress space.
Oh, cool. So how do you make it come out of the thing?
Now you know the right words.
What's the right words?
I'm not going to tell you, then you could bring it out when you want. It's meant to be hidden for a reason.
But then, what if we have trouble down there and we need to bring it out when I want?
Well, you're not taking it with you. If you're going to take anything, you'll take some of the Guardian units because they can actually hear your mushroom friend.
Huh. Alright, I just drop it on the floor. Like, I don't even place it, I just
I
drop.
very much doubt you need one of my assassin units.
I mean, it does look pretty cool. I could use one.
Well, I'm hoping to get them for sale in the next few years, but I haven't quite got there yet. Anyway, so what we've got down there might actually be of interest to you, little mushroom. We've got a mold problem.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he seems to be feeding on the darkness and the damp down there. Not sure how it got in. We're normally pretty good on that, but it seems to have spread pretty bad, and now it's all yellow down there.
Yellow mold.
Yep, you roll a nature check on that.
About to say, think I might have come across stuff like that before.
It's almost certainly possible.
14.
So you don't know a massive amount about it, but like he said, you know that yellow mold are most commonly encountered in dark, damp locations. They tend to be they almost seem to feed on the cold, so that areas around them are slightly warmer. But normally when they're disturbed, they have a tendency to release poisonous spores, which can be quite damaging.
Ooh.
And
Spores.
and one of the reasons that they are so fond of the damp is you've heard, though you've never seen this because of course you've never seen it yourself, that they can be destroyed by direct sunlight.
Don't think we got any of that handy, but if they feed on the cold, we might be able to lure it out. I think. Does anyone have any way of making something cold through like magic?
Jorah's sheep, because I don't know if he's back yet. No, Jorah has the inappropriately named Chill Touch spell.
Okay.
Which is still one of my least favorite named spells.
Let me check what else I've got. I've got some alchemy supplies. Maybe I can cook something up if I get some.
Yeah. If you're looking for those sorts of ingredients, then you probably want to talk to. And then he seems to pause for a moment, and you see his eyes twitch, and he goes. And then he speaks directly to you, Smush, as using the spores rather than speaking out loud. Right, I don't have a lot of time. He might take back over shortly, and fortunately you're a telepath, so that makes this a little easier.
Why?
I basically what's going on down there is worse than it seems. The yellow mold is only the beginning of the problems. I suspect the reason they're trying to get you to go down there isn't to help, but to try to get rid of you because they see you as a threat, so be careful.
Threat to what? Or who?
What are you on about? What are you talking about threats for?
Oh, the mold is threatening it to the
Yes.
farm, your little myconid farm you've got going on.
Yes, that's very true.
So if we
Right,
get rid of
well,
the mold, can
yeah.
we get some of those mushrooms, maybe?
That seems fair enough. I didn't realize myconids ate mushrooms. That's a new one.
No, but my friends could use some food, I guess.
Then not mushtarians then. Interesting. Would have thought hanging around with a guy like you, maybe. Anyway, he fiddles around in his pockets, pulls out a wrench which is actually bigger than him from a pocket. Goes, no, where's that pen? And then he pulls out a small emerald-coloured pen. And he writes down on something on some paper and hands this to you and goes, I'll say hands it to Elodie because they're closest. But if you take this down to Whisk, you got 50 gold there, tax-free, to be able to buy the supplies you need. Get the job done, and there's probably a reward in it for you, I guess.
What kind of reward are we talking about? Is it, like, decent?
Oh, I suppose I could let you look at my hoard.
Your what?
Wait, did I say hoard? Why would I say hoard? That's weird.
Phrasing.
My storage upstairs. I've got an armory. That's the word I was looking for. I wouldn't have a hoard. I'm not a dragon. Only dragons have hoards, right? Yeah. Anyway, so you can have a look in my armory, and if you find anything you like, and I feel like, and you ask me about it, I might give it to you. And there'll be some gold and some stuff in it for you too. Plus, maybe I'll let you have one of my inventions. Or a book.
Okay, you sold me then. Like, there is a lot in it for us, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright, well, off you toddle.
Was there something else we wanted to ask? I'm sure there was something else, guys. We definitely came here for two reasons, I recall. One was about the outbreak, and another one we had someone told us to go see Metaleye about. What was it?
Your brother? Was it about you? Was it to ask about Elodie's brother, or
Essentially.
maybe? Or was it to do with Jorah? I think it might have been to do with Jorah.
Yeah,
Taxi.
it could have been.
I don't remember either.
There was definitely one other thing we came here to talk about, but
Well, if you can't remember what it is now, it either wasn't important or you've got more important things for now. So go deal with your problem, the problem for me, then come back and I'll answer whatever questions you want.
Yeah.
sorry, it wasn't on your back of your mind, was it? No, Jorah's it goes mouthful at the moment. He's eating those pot noodle rations. Noodle rations.
Yeah. And then you hear that other voice in your head again, Smush. Be careful, little mushroom. Don't trust everything is what it seems.
So we're taking two of those guardian robots with us to deal with the yellow mold problem?
There's one at the entrance to the grotto. That bit of paper, it's got a note on the other side. That will let you through, and he'll go down there with you.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Now, if you toddle.
Is it this way? Oh no.
No, it's up, upwards.
Oh, which way?
Oh.
Follow the mushroom.
All right, I'll lead them away. Probably get halfway towards the grotto.
Yeah, remember they did also. You have gotten basically a free use of some free money for whisk, essentially.
Oh my God, Jorah, the changeling has split into two.
No, he hasn't. You're just seeing things.
So about here, I'll stop and say, guys, I don't know if anyone else heard that voice, but someone replied to me telepathically, and they told me not to trust Metaleye.
I mean, sounds about right, really. He's the.
Did you maybe hear it, Midas?
Did I? I don't think I did.
No. The only person who heard was Smush because they were using the rapport spores in reverse.
Okay. I think someone else is in control of Metaleye, maybe? Or maybe someone else was nearby. I couldn't really tell. All I know is that where we're going is dangerous and there's more than just yellow mold down there.
Yeah.
Oh. We gotta be real careful. That's why I said maybe we should get the Guardian robot to go first.
That sounds like a plan. Cannon and fodder.
And maybe there's something I can ask the the artificer for like maybe something that releases a cold. cold ability? I'm gonna knock. Hello?
Oh, it's you again, little mushroom.
Hey, I know you
How
got
can
a
I
lot of
help you?
different toys, but I was wondering, do you have anything that like gives off a cold?
Cold, you say? Cold. Let me
I've got
have a look
this.
through. Let me have a look. I mean,
Or maybe you
there's
can do something with this and like hold out a moonstone.
oh, a
No,
moonstone, maybe.
the
Hmm.
two components for like moon. It can be used to
Yeah.
make a moon blade, or it's a
Yeah.
component for a first level higher moonbeam.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um.
just thinking, because
Like maybe. I mean, I've got the icy earmuffs, but those are pretty dangerous and probably out of your price range. Um. hmm.
they're attracted to cold. So did we ever get that flamethrower in the end? We didn't, did we?
No. I think you were going to, but then it was too pricey.
Yeah, and we need someone to actually be able to wield it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If not, no worries. We were just wondering.
Give me a moment. I'm just looking for my inventory. Uh, the excessive fluffy hat of excessive warmth, but that's more for keeping you warm in cold.
Oh,
Um,
I have like alchemy supplies. I was thinking
yeah.
maybe I could whip up.
Doubt you want the venomous spider in a glass orb launcher. A fireball flame jet actually requires you to be able to cast fireball.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to do any of that.
Mm,
Okay, don't worry.
Yeah, I've got some
Yeah.
explosives.
I've got spells that will hopefully do the job.
Yeah.
Don't know how long I was muted for. Whoops.
You weren't muted.
Yeah. All right, we'll go to the grotto now. I think.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything.
Oh, if you want to go to the alchemist, not the the alchemist shop, you could potentially buy some stuff to make into something. Because you were given 50 gold to spend there.
I'm
Oh
back.
no, you.
I do apologise, guys.
But whiskeys.
Yeah.
Whisks. Yeah,
Yeah.
we could nip to Whisks. See if we can find any like cold bombs or something. Or
Yeah, you might have something.
freeze grenades.
So as a quick recap for you, Tank, the party have been informed that there is a mold problem down in the grotto.
Right.
And are currently looking for ways to deal with that. And it seems like either Shooters has an alternate personality or someone else was hijacking the conversation to be able to talk to Smush, basically warning him that there might be more dangers there than they think.
Okay then, just the heads up on that. So I do apologise.
Yeah, so you guys are going to Whisks, right? So I'm just gonna take you there just rather than making you walk the entire way around because that'd take you a bit of time.
Oh yeah, of course. I've just thought of a genius idea. Go to the bar and get some ice.
That's also a possibility.
Yeah, we'll just fill up a bag of ice cubes.
There you go. So taking you down there. Yeah.
Of course. All right.
Well. If it isn't my friends.
Oh, hi. Do you have anything that has like a cold magic to it?
Cold, you say?
Or fire?
I might have just fire, and that one's an easier one. So I've got a potion of fire breath.
How much is that one?
Let me have a look. Let me have a look at my old price list. Had to keep adjusting these prices to keep up with taxes. So, give me a moment.
Yeah. Where's your speech impediment gone?
That's.
What?
I was going to ask Jorah. Was that something you wanted to ask? Metaleye.
No, not that I can think of.
Okay.
The main reason I sort of went upstairs was for the library, which we did.
Yeah. So, potion of fire breath with your discount will be 100 gold pieces.
Okay. I've got like a couple of beads left on this necklace. Let me just check. Where the heck is it? There it is. I got 4 beads left. Yeah, I can actually buy that. Do we have any fire in the pie already? Like fireball, anything? I guess not. Alright, yeah, I'll take one. Okay,
No,
here you
I've
go.
got hellish. Well, the only thing I've got is hellish rebuke.
I'll hand him a black pearl.
I
You
have oil.
take it and take the IOU and hand you the potion of fire breath.
Cool.
Actually, what? I'm just gonna look. It says sheep proofing. No, they don't have anything for that either. You're looking for cold as well.
I think I can do cold. Oh,
No.
That's
Yeah,
necrotic.
you have the oddly named spell. It's not touch and it's not cold, but it's chill touch.
Yep. I read it and I thought, oh, I've got cold. No, it's
Yeah.
necrotic. Damn it.
Why do you need cold?
We're gonna deal with the mold problem downstairs?
Ah, huh. Then
It's okay. If you don't have any.
then perhaps you want a vial of my patented weed killing formula.
Oh.
Some. And I need to just look something up quickly because yes, it's based on a quite a powerful little necromancy spell by the name of Light, but white even. It's how you
White.
pronounce it.
Sure.
And essentially it's a necromantic potion, kind of like alchemist fire, but it does extra damage to plants. It's does and well, that's the theory anyway. I've not really had a chance to test it because only plants are mushrooms and they're the food. So, but the theory makes sense.
How much is that one?
That one is, because of its experimental nature, 20 gold pieces.
Oh, I don't have any gold.
Or we could test it out for you for free because you don't know what might happen when you use this. It could explode in our faces. Instead of killing plants.
Roll me a persuasion check, I guess.
Yeah. Persuasion is not my forte. But it's good enough. For me. And once we've done using it, If it works as it's supposed to, we'll let you know the outcome and you can make more.
He considers this. He strokes his wispy beard, which is only wispy because it's made out of air, so it's literally wispy. Hmm. Let's give him some say, see how well this affects him.
Oh.
Wow, not that well. So he goes, you know what? I like your spunk. So what I'm going to say is, I won't give it to you for as cheap as you've asked it, but I'll give it to you for half price, 10 gold.
Better than it was.
And
Doesn't change the fact I don't have any 10 gold.
I'll throw in this dandy little cool. I'll sign it for you as well because it's a first of a kind. The bottle itself is valuable.
Someone else will have to pay the man. I don't have 10 gold.
All right then.
I'll pull out 100 silver and hand that over. I think that's 10 gold, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
He looks at it.
I haven't got gold. I've only got silver.
He looks at it, compresses it with his hand, and it becomes 10 gold pieces. And he puts that into his coffers.
That's a neat trick.
Yep. It's a whisk special. I'm also the money changer here, so.
Don't I have something to give Whisk?
I don't know.
From that other guy. I can't remember. The last guy that we were talking to. He gave me something to give to Whisk.
Oh yeah, he gave you the 50 gold off thing, which you basically used to buy for this thing. That's why you got it as cheap as you did for the potion.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. No worries. For a moment I was like, did you? And then like, oh, that thing, yeah. So, all right, well, good luck on your adventures. There's anything else you want to look at or ask, feel free.
I think that's all for now. We go kill some weeds now.
Yeah, let's go kill some weeds.
Yeah. Okay, let me just yeah, so if you guys move round on the map, you'll be able to get round to where the grotto is. Just standing something up. That was the other thing, yes. So you should be able to. That's not work. So, I'm sure you know where you're going.
Do we?
Yeah, you've been there before. Well, you've been to near the area before. It's where the one guy is standing by himself.
Bibble?
No,
You're stood by yourself?
he's not. He's got the fire genasi. It's where the one metallic keeper is standing by itself.
The one guy, is it this drop here? Pit.
Yeah, there's a bridge. Actually, have I still got the guy as invisible? I might have him still as invisible. No, not that one. It's further around. It's across the little bridge.
So not the pit.
No.
Okay. This guy.
Yes, that is the guy.
So he's not a guy. He's a robot.
Yes, but he might identify as a guy. You don't know.
I waddle up and hand him the slip of paper from Metaleye.
He has a look at it, reads it over, which turns out it's actually just like a QR code on the back, which he scans.
Of course.
Because why not?
Amazing.
this picture. Okay, there you go. So that'll work. And it goes, you have been granted authorization to descend to the grotto. Oh, joyous day! Oh, fraptious day! Very few get to see the grotto this day.
So
A gesture for him to turn it over.
He turns it over.
And you're supposed to come with us and help?
Oh, yes. Well, I'm allowed down there anyway. I'm part of the...
Oh,
But yes, I will go down with you.
okay, lead on.
Yeah, and then I will drink.
do people often get to see the grotto other days? Just not this day?
Maybe. But that was before my time.
Or you're looking a bit hurt. What?
Only
Yeah, I don't know why Jorah's damage. I can't remember what... I think it was the pogo stick.
yeah, it was the pogo
Oh
stick.
god, that's nearly half dead from a pogo stick. Do you want to take a? Did you want to take a little rest before we go down there?
Sorry, yeah, damage was the pogo stick, I believe.
Yeah.
want-
Oh,
Do you want to
Could
take
we have maybe had a short rest before he goes?
I mean, if you want to have a short rest, you can. I'm not stopping you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Spend a hit dice, draw, please. When you're dying down here, not to mold. That's the worst way to go. There you go. Cool. All right. Then we're then we head.
Would you like to play him a little ditty while he
No, he's already good. He's max.
That was full health, yeah.
Oh, it doesn't look like you're at full health. You're one off. You're one off.
It'll be fine.
Right.
Song of Rest.
That...
Did anyone else see the mold move? Was that just me?
It seems you are not in that dire of a situation to go down here. It took you a full hour.
Oh,
The robot's just sort of standing there.
yeah, we
My
had some more
apologies.
shopping to do. We had to pick up some supplies. Let's see if this stuff works. I'll pull out the weed killer, start uncorking it. And I'll just
Do you want me to throw it?
I'll mage hand. No,
Ah.
I'll use the mage hand. I'll sprinkle some first just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Tail.
Each one.
Oh, that's cool. Midtime. Is that just farm whip?
It's
No, that's
No.
the mage hand.
mage hand.
Ah.
Smush's hands are like when they come out, they're like ethereal little Bulbasaur vines.
Okay, let's
From his
Of course.
mushroom cat.
roll, I guess. Roll the d20s here. This thing managed to resist. Wow, it really does. But if I remember how the spell this is based on works, it should have disadvantage on it. Memory
Oh
serves.
yeah.
'Cause it's
A big
plant.
little mini blight. Yeah,
Yep. So reroll.
baby blight.
Oh.
Okay, so this apparently has quite a horrid effect. Where it does that, it does 4d4 damage, which ended up being 9, and the mold does shrink quite a fair bit.
Oh,
Cool.
But it's not gone entirely. But you have disturbed it.
yeah, my mage hand has, sure.
So let me check my notes on this in.
More fire.
10-foot radius. Oh, I think Smush might be just out of it. Yep. And a violent cloud of yellow spores is released in a 10-foot radius around this thing. But the robot sort of just stands there.
Breathing it in. Yeah. Okay, guys, stand back. That looked pretty nasty.
The robot actually stands there and raises up its own hand and releases a mist blowing the spores away.
Oh. Oh, he's got like an air freshener built in.
But as this happens, I would like the party to roll for initiative.
There is no combat. Actually,
Oh, wow. There you go. You're going first.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're not. Wait. Maybe
As
you
I,
are.
as I get this thing out,
Oh.
I find it.
You both have exactly the same.
Is that it?
How much dex does Jorah have?
+3.
No, like in the
Oh,
actual
16.
16. Damn it! It's exactly the same. You're both exactly the same.
It's too
But,
much.
just the one dose, and not cost
Yes.
much.
Yeah. So I'll
Okay.
say you've probably got another dose.
Oh, okay. Then. I'll keep it on my sheet for now.
Yeah. Yeah, let's use. What's that one? No, definitely not that. That's far too powerful for you.
So what?
I've lost the things that I was just looking at. Oh. Seriously, what the fuck? Where did it go? I was literally just looking at. There they are. From the mold,
Sludgies.
mold seems to form into. I give one for each. One of these for each of you. These little yellow things, which were almost completely translucent, and perhaps are, but it's just that you've sprinkled something on which has caused them some coloration, and has thus caused them to awaken.
Jorah, take him out.
I lost the turn order then for a moment. Okay, so I will say purely because of that's just the way the turn order's gone. Actually, I'll let you decide. Jura or Yaz, which one of you wants to go first?
I mean, I did have an idea.
Rock,
I was
paper,
basically.
scissors.
I mean, I was going to walk forward and do Arms of Hadar, but it's we can roll for it if you want.
Jamie, roll for me.
D20 each, I guess. We'll see.
Yeah, do D20 each.
14.
Okay, so Yaz goes first.
Damn.
And I'll update that easily on there by that. So, Yaz, you are up. Elodie, what do you wish to do?
Let me just look at my sheet. It's very far away.
Oh, you're asking for help. If you're trying to go for area attack, you've got that. Okay. She wants to go with Cloud of Daggers.
Yeah. So if you click the spell, then it should ask you to put down an error, I think.
Where do you want it?
Nice. Yeah, you could go for that.
Yeah.
And now you're concentrating.
Yeah, concentrating these daggers.
And they won't have taken the damage yet, but they'll take at the start of their turn.
What's it look like?
Actually, yeah. What does your cloud of daggers look like? Is there any particular visual flair you've got to it?
Doesn't necessarily have to be daggers. It could just be
It's
shape
like
things.
it's like a misty sort of cloud, raining down sharp pieces of glass at these sludgy monsters. So they're
Nice.
like glass daggers. They're very sharp.
Nice.
And as they fall, it's like twinkling. It's like a snow of daggers.
Nice.
instead of like your typical like red
Nice.
dagger stick.
Anything you'd like to do as your bonus action?
What features you got? You got
Bardic Inspiration would be the obvious one. You've also got the ability to give someone...
disadvantage.
No, you can basically give them a negative to the next saving throw.
Yeah, so you got Bardic Inspiration, which gives someone an extra Bardic die to whatever they're rolling, or you can do the opposite to an enemy, where it'll subtract a number off them. We've only got so many uses of that, so it's up to you.
I will use my bonus action to give Bardic Inspiration to Smoosh.
Okay, so Smoosh, you have a Bardic Inspiration dice, which if you target Smush with Alt-Click and then click on your Bardic Inspiration feature, I think it should add him to his thing. Or give him an... Yeah, it gives him a little inspired thing.
Smoosh
Right.
powered up now.
Right. Would you like to move at all?
I think I'm genuinely out of the way of the sludgy monsters for now, so I should be okay where I am, I think.
Okay, you're fine for now. So, Jura, you are up.
Yep.
And I will say there's a response to the cloud of daggers. This yellow mold does seem to have shrunk down a bit.
Right.
Sure.
So I'm going to move right up to there.
Mm-hmm.
Apologise to the robot as I walk past for this. And I'm going to cast Arms of Hadar.
Okay. Hopefully I've managed to get this one to work. I swear I got this to work last time.
Nice. Yeah, he didn't target himself. And that's awesome.
Okay. The metallic peacekeeper looks at you and goes, I will be adding this to my report, but your actions are understandable, so I will not terminate you with extreme prejudice.
Thank you. And
Oh, he
that,
passed the save.
Huh?
It's alright, he passed the save. He's fine.
Yeah.
yeah, that'll be my turn.
Okay, so it's now the first of the Dipsers' turns.
Arms of Potten.
Let me just check. Federal creatures intend to siege you, blah 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 blah. Can't take reactions, it's just reactions to effects. That doesn't affect it moving. This one is. Actually, is it that one? No, it's this one.
The pirates are still alive after both of those.
Yep, just about. In the case of. 3 of them look bloodied, one of them is still standing.
24 damage.
Yeah.
I did actually think I'd killed 3 of them, that's why I stayed.
Yeah.
If I didn't, I would have moved back.
So. This one will attempt to bite you. It misses. But you did just Arms of Hadar next to the mold. So I'm gonna need a con save from you, buddy. Okay. That's pretty good. Where? Okay. So you're going to take the initial bit of damage, but you won't be poisoned by it. You'll just take the initial bit of damage. 14 damage. As this burst of spores hits you, and almost seems to be... What's the right word? It almost seems to be eating away at the flesh, I suppose. Like, almost drying it out. That's probably the right word.
Ouch.
Yeah, so it's a pretty hefty blow.
Yeah, I wish I moved.
Yes, but you would have taken the mold anyway. I should have done that when you did the arms of God, but you didn't take the bite, so
Okay.
another one of these slides across. And is going to try to fight you as well. Well,
Can I hellish rebuke that?
you can.
I will.
Did that actually even damage you? Just there
No.
it was. Yeah, bit of a delay in the things there, but yeah, your hellish rebuke obliterates that. But I'm gonna say your hellish rebuke also, due to the extreme heat of it, that's my tile thing. There we go. Also causes the mold to shrink a lot, and now it's just like this little patch here.
Okay.
It definitely doesn't like fire, guys.
The metallic peacekeeper. What would the metallic? Oh.
What would Bibble do?
What would Bibble do? It's a good question. The metallic peacekeeper just sort of moves over to this one. Goes, "You are unclean and also an unregistered immigrant for this town and must be removed." And just punches it. Metallic fist.
Nice.
Midas, you are up.
It's you, Jamie.
Sorry, I was
Jamie.
muted. Against what? Everything seemed dead.
No, they're
No blood.
3 bloodied things. They're not dead. This one's dead because it's got a dead symbol on it.
Alright,
And there's still a patch of the mold left.
well, knowing what they can do, I'm gonna try out my new things. My blades.
Yeah.
Just gonna hold out my hands and just fire them from my palms. I'll try to. My brain.
Yep. Apparently you were targeting Smush.
I didn't. Oh, that's because because of what's it called? I'm controlling.
Yep, I undo that.
Uh,
But yeah, it does take the psychic damage.
with the sneak. Ah, that didn't do it.
I swear I put that back.
Oh, it should be 2d6 at this point, I think.
Yeah, it should be. But that actual thing in there, that won't update, but the actual thing should have.
Oh, there's another one.
Well, it was dead from the first D6 anyway.
And
As your
then,
psychic blade slices into it. Fix your sneak attack.
and then crossbow bracer. Because why not? Keep with it. Hey. No. Bigger. Dead.
Yep, that's another one dead. Now, Smush, you are up.
Okay. Only one left. Okay. We'll get around here. Don't want to get too close to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and I don't think they got a brain, so I don't know if mind slivering is even a good idea. You know what? I'll try this instead. Oh, actually, good question. When it attacked Jura, did it look like it burned him away Was it? Did you say it
No,
sucked the life from him?
the poison from the mold seemed to do that. It actually just seemed to bite him, and
Fire him outright.
but I will say, Jura, despite it biting you and doing quite a hefty chunk of damage, you did not feel the bite.
Okay, very strange. Okay, I'm gonna pull out the old fish guts and squeeze them as hard as I can. And push a Tasha's caustic brew in their direction.
Yay.
Wow. Yeah. There it is.
They take the blow and then just seem to almost eat the damage.
Isn't that good?
And you know what? Just for the no, I won't do that. That's mean. I haven't established that other thing, and that'll be so. Yeah, and Smush retreats. I will say though that your acidic effect seems to have removed the last of the mold you can see. But it's a little slam.
Oh,
That's good.
what's that?
Excuse me, did you actually take that damage? You're not meant to take that damage, you're immune to that damage.
The slime should still take the cloud of daggers though, if it starts its turn in it.
You already did that.
Yeah, it's only once per turn.
Is it not
Is it
its turn
specific?
yet?
Yeah, this is its first turn, this one.
Oh.
That's going to move up here.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Jura.
Yes! Bring Jorah down! Once per turn. Once per session.
It does miss,
No!
bringing it around to, Elodie.
What, sorry?
It's Elodie's turn.
She said, what's the little ghost she's got on her?
What, the little symbol above you? That's just to symbolise you're concentrating.
Oh, it looks like a little ghost from a distance.
You got imagination there.
It's my creative brain.
Spooky ghost. Take out the last slimy thing.
Don't think you can move Cloud of Daggers once you've...
Oh, it's a purple. Oh.
You could mock it. It does damage if it fails the save. Or you could just attack it if you've got a weapon. You got daggers.
Bone whip would be good, right?
Or you could heal it.
Yeah. I'm gonna move toward Jorah, sorry.
Yep.
You could do it from a distance.
Healing word.
How far can I do it from? 60 feet.
60
Yeah.
feet.
I would like to use healing word on Jorah.
Yep. So if you target him and click healing word, it should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which brings us to Jorah's turn.
Took on action.
Oh yeah, you've still got an action actually, because that's a bonus action to do that. So you could still do like a cantrip spell to try to damage it, or you could go up and stab it, or
Which one then?
I want to go up to whichever one is left and stab it with my dagger.
Where do you want to go? Do you want to go there? There?
Yeah, between the metal dude and the slimy dude.
And dagger it.
Yeah, slash it. like a leader.
Oh, it's still alive.
And that I end my turn.
Yeah. Yep, that does bring it to Jorah's turn. Still up, but almost dead. It seems to be floundering and falling to pieces.
I will raise my hand and have it crackle with sort of Eldritch energy. And I will cast... I'll go Eldritch Blast on it just because I can.
Yep. Will be a disadvantage.
Oh yeah, good. Right, forgot about that.
It looks easy enough to hit, dude. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I'll Eldritch Blast it. I can never remember how you
Yeah,
target.
it's Alt-click to target.
Click.
You can
It's the
double
one
right
below
click.
it. It's one below it.
Yep.
You can double right click as well.
Okay. And I forgot it's a disadvantage.
Just roll a d20. I'm almost certain you'll have hit this thing.
Okay.
I mean, you've got like it. Yeah, you still hit it. Actually, wait. You just hit it. DC 15, basically. Okay. And as these things melt away into the water, they begin to puddle and pool. And a single... I'm going to say the combat is over for this. But... let me just get this thing out. A single large yellow tendril forms out to them with a face on it and looks at you and just goes, "You interrupted us, but it is no matter. Our operations here are almost complete. Enjoy your time." And then it just disappears.
It's more of those oozed creatures from before. Remember the ones in the prison?
It
And the ones
appears.
from the ritual.
It appears. It appears that you have dealt with the mold problem. However, it may be worth doing a brief investigation to make sure that there is no residue before we leave.
I'll send out report sports to everyone but the automaton, and I'll tell them, be careful, remember, this could be a trap here.
Stick my head under the water to see if there's any under the water.
Okay,
Ooh.
that's not how you careful, but okay.
You just did the interesting thing. Okay.
Okay, I'll
So,
slap.
how do you take someone to another map, Chris? Because I was trying to do that and I couldn't.
Go to the map,
Oh
and
Yeah.
then
no.
you right click in the bottom left and pull to scene.
Oh no.
Don't activate the map, just go to it yourself.
Yeah. Okay,
then
yeah. Okay.
What the fuck?
So, do you see the full map?
What the hell?
I've been taken to... Wow, what is this?
You're saying this like underwater, so you're just like.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't sound distorted at all.
Oh, what?
It's like some sort of very old dungeon.
Alright.
Oh, what's that I see right in front of me? Can I grab it?
Right in front of you?
Like a dragon statue. Made
There
of gold.
does appear to be a small golden dragon statue.
Swipe it. I swipe it.
Okay. And you notice that there are 3 other similar pedestals.
Doesn't matter, I swipe it.
You swipe it. Okay, so add gold dragon statue. And here's the other thing that I'm going to say that you didn't notice during the heat of battle. Actually, I'll say you two are just on the edge, so wouldn't notice. But as the battle ends, and you would have thought that you'd feel wet on your feet, Jorah and Elodie. You don't. Would you all like to go down onto the other map and see what's down there?
I was edging closer to the edge, like probably checking that there's solid ground beneath me every step of the way.
Yeah,
Do I
And
feel?
I'll get to the edge and
I feel around for Smoosh. Do I
yeah,
touch Smoosh?
yeah.
I grab hold of him and then I tumble myself under.
wait.
We're going
Where are
in.
we going?
Okay.
Drag us both in. You and me, buddy.
That'll not be a long fall.
Nope, it's not.
Oh.
Look!
Okay.
This place is very old. Probably has some cool treasure.
Hank, are you going down there as well?
I'll look at Elodie, sort of shrug, and walk in.
Okay.
Let's go.
What
Okay.
is this thing?
So you find ignore what looks like walls on where you are, but you appear to be in some form of temple, and you notice that there are 4 of the metallic guardians who don't seem to be paying you any attention, just seemingly carving stuff out of stone. And what is strange, another thing that is strange about them is rather than the sort of blue glow that you're familiar with, instead it's almost like a greenish black to them.
You mentioned a dragon statue?
Yeah,
No, I
there's a
didn't.
little
Not
small.
loud.
Yeah, he just grabbed that. But you may potentially notice that there are 4 recesses near the where you're standing.
You know, I have a strange little suspicion. There's something that the mayor said, Metaleye. You know how he said something about a horde?
Yeah.
And then
Is
he's
he-
like, oh, only dragons have hordes.
Does that mean he's a dragon?
I don't know.
Is this door actually here?
I mean,
No.
just think, it would explain how he's able to make an army of metal artificer creations. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's in his own state of mind right now.
But where's this horde? I only see old
No, that was
stuff.
back in his case.
Oh, okay.
He said that he had a horde, and then he corrected himself and said it was
Okay.
an armory.
Okay, Smush, with your vision at that point, you can see in the distance 2 large glass or crystal containers with some strange tubing attached to them.
Oh, there's something over there, guys.
Would I not see this with my dark vision, James?
Oh yeah, you see this actually. Yeah, I forgot how big your dark vision is. You don't, Elodie, because yours isn't quite as big as Jorah's, which is massive. You can see that there are 6 of these containers, each with tubes connected to what appears to be a large humanoid figure.
I don't like the look of that, and I'll point ahead.
Does it look like it's one of the automatons, or is it made of a different material?
It's hard to tell. It doesn't look the same, but it glistens in a similar way, if that makes sense. So it's potentially metal, just maybe a different metal.
Okay. Are these torches here, are those lit?
Yes.
Okay.
And this water that is here is very real.
Why didn't you go ahead, check for traps?
Okay, yeah, I'll check for traps. Sleight of hand, is it? Or is it
Investigation.
investigation? Oh,
I can
Yeah.
help you out. What you know? Maybe I take the traps. You help me. What am I looking for?
You're closer to the ground. Well,
Plate,
Yeah.
maybe.
you look
Scythe
at
from the ceiling.
yeah, you're looking up, down, all the way around, and anything that might press in.
Or with advantages, he's helping me.
Hey, surprisingly, from your investigations, you don't see any traps.
Cool. Hey,
Elodie, if you want to move forward as well, you can do.
I'm in control of that. That's my bad.
Yeah, James is in control of me.
There. I have an idea. Just bear with me on this. I go over to the water and I stick my head in the
I
water.
knew he was going to stick it. There's another level.
Okay. Run me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no! Oh, not bad.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. You're gonna take
Oh no!
half of this damage. So you take 2 damage because this water, despite being still in a liquid state, is ice cold to the point where it chilled you, almost sapping all of the heat from you as you touched it.
Well, the good news is, if you have a temperature, you could jump in here. The bad news is, it hurt, and there's no level below this.
Yeah, but you would notice from that brief look in, which Jura can probably see on the map, and the others can as well. You can't normally because your dark vision isn't good enough. But there appear to be under the water level, you can see carvings of 2 large winged serpents.
Yeah, I could see that. And they've even got YouTube play buttons on them.
God damn it. I do point this out about
Yeah.
Oh my god.
the serpents.
Yes. But, Midas, your vision is probably distracted by what is in one of these containers.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this container here, there appears to be what looks like liquid gold.
Liquid gold. Is there a tap?
Nope, but it appears to be there. Looks like there's something on top where maybe like it could be poured in, and in the one next to it is liquid silver. Sorry, liquid electrum, liquid silver, liquid copper, liquid platinum. In this one,
I wonder.
Sounds like, I don't know if we know this in game, but obviously our game, it sounds like the colours of metallic dragons.
Um,
I want to know what the hell's going on here. There's something magical related to these
What-
6 metals, right?
this might be really stupid, but it something Midas probably would do. Toward
okay,
what are they made out of?
they appear to be made out of glass or crystal.
Would
Can
I?
roll an Arcana check? Right.
Yeah.
Why these
As,
are here.
Religion is also applicable if anyone wants to roll that.
yeah, I'll be thinking about stuff as I'll do stuff.
You have no idea, Smush, but I'm actually going to let you re-roll.
Prior
It's
religion.
alchemical.
And I will guidance as well.
I'm going to add bardic inspiration to that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
you
you've got
still got
bardic.
What is the
D6 at this point, I think.
D6? Okay.
7.
For a total of
21.
18.
No, 13 plus 3 is plus 4 is 17.
I think they were doing that on their own guide.
Oh,
On
is
their own
that on their
religion show.
own? Okay.
Okay, so with your 18, initially you do think with like the gold and the silver and the copper that these are related to the metallic dragon colors. because that makes sense. But you've never heard of an electrum dragon,
Sure.
and the only platinum dragon you've ever heard of is Bahamut. And then
God.
what would the sixth one be?
What's inside of it?
Inside the sixth one, you're not actually sure. Is the thing. It
Okay.
appears to be a strange coloured liquid that is greenish black in colour, similar to what the light that is fueling these metallic peacekeepers currently.
Okay, I think I've
Alright.
waited long enough now. Can I attempt to make a small hole at the bottom of one of these?
You can certainly try.
Hammer and
How would you
pit-
like to do that?
Glass?
Hammer and
You
pit.
mean the fuck? You mean smash it open?
No, I just wanna create, like, very gently create a small hole.
Okay,
What
you can give it a try.
do you think you're doing?
Nothing.
I'm standing right here. I can see what you're doing.
I'm just lightening.
You think that, yeah. You think that's a good idea? We don't know what this thing does.
Sure, it does something. Let's give it a
Yeah,
try.
it could be holding up the whole of the city for all we know.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
that gave you pause, didn't it?
I'm sure the city will be fine.
No. We need to know what this thing does before you go smashing it to pieces.
All right. First, you find out what it does, and then I'll try.
It's obviously attached to this statue, but I can't tell if it's Can I tell if it's pumping into the statue,
It
or if the
appears to
statue is
be.
being? Okay, right.
So
Okay, so clearly these are filled up, which means you don't even need to smash it. You can probably just open it at the top somehow.
yeah, but if I make a hole in the bottom, then it'll spill out into my bag of holding.
And
Whereas if I don't want to be trying to swing my bag of holding in there.
Does this thing look like any person you know, or is it like a mannequin? Is it like
Yeah,
featureless?
it's basically featureless. It's just this tall, vaguely humanoid statue.
No distinguishing thing, isn't it? I figured.
Nothing really distinguishing about it. Just that it appears that. So now that you've been standing here a while,
Can I
you notice that every now and then there is almost a pulse, like a heartbeat, and that is when these vine-like tubes almost seem to quiver, and a little bit of the liquid flows into it.
Interesting thought. Could I try? I know this is a statue, but you just said there's some sort of heartbeat, so maybe it's not. Can I try and throw my mind into it? Like,
You can certainly try
m- speak to it if it is
with your sort of
psychic
whispers. Yes, you can certainly try.
I'll also, well, Smoosh can already telepathically, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I just did a full circle around it,
Yeah.
trying to look at it from every angle.
The greenish, as you circle round it and you got near the greenish black one in particular, that one almost seems to send a chill up your spine. It almost, the thought you get from it is not even necessarily a thought, just a feeling. Is just simply the phrase sort of echoes in your head, but it makes you think it essentially is "you are nothing."
Oh, that's rude.
But that's just the sense that you get as you get near it for some reason. It gives you that unbelievable sense of being nothing. Yeah.
Do I get anything from the trying
Well, that depends. Roll me a wisdom save.
Oh, wisdom say, you say.
So be careful about opening your mind.
Okay.
Mindful.
Let me just check something, note. Don't mind me. Actually, no, your stat block was better than this.
I mean, you want to know what this is, so you won't let me steal any of the liquid
Thought so.
gold until I find out.
So that is a failure.
Oh,
So you are going to be taking some.
oh no.
Let's go for. I feel it is the same as that.
Oh no.
You're gonna take
Oh my lord.
that much psychic damage
God.
as you connect to this thing, and
Do I
the
still
mind you connect to, for the briefest of moments, is overwhelmingly alien and incomprehensible. It almost seems to overwhelm your consciousness as you open up to it. And that you again, like Smush, you get that feeling of insignificance and being reduced to nothing. But it almost seems to be, for you, it has almost become a physical representation. You feel, for a moment, your mind hurt from this insignificant feeling, almost as if your mind is going to dissolve. But then you do get a couple of words. The first, of course, is nothing. Literally the word nothing. But then it goes too early, wrong time.
Too early, wrong time.
But then the connection severs like that, and that's what really does the damage. It's you feeling that overwhelming pain, and as that you begin to maybe get that connection, it snaps, and that's when you feel the pain reel into you, and you take the 8.
And now Midas is angry. Right, this fucker hurt me. He just brings out his rapier and tries to cut into the urn's tubes.
Hey, roll me an attack roll. Wow.
Ah, get fucked, statue. As he cuts into one of these.
You hit the vine, slicing into it quite heavily. And it's, fairly an impressive blow. Cuts into it and a little bit of gold pours out. But then the gold almost seems to reseal the vine. There's a little bit of there, and then it returns back to that same green color.
Ah. You bastard.
Too bad, Midas.
I try the hammer and pitten.
On the
I'm going for the glass, and then
Okay.
What do you mean it hurt you? You haven't got a scratch on you.
it hurt my brain.
There is a tiny bit of blood dripping from his ear, I'll say.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. You
So
tried to talk to it, didn't you?
I did. You wanted me to learn what it is, and what this is a fucker.
Well, does he have anything he could actually fuck with?
Well, he's going to be trying to. The statue itself doesn't seem to be doing anything.
Is it like a Ken doll down there, is it?
Seemingly.
Okay. What?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Doesn't have anything he can even procreate with.
He
Oh, we know it's just it.
he psychically hurt me.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Mind.
Yeah, like your little sliver thing that you do.
Yeah,
Up
then why are you pissing it off even more?
Because it deserves it. So, and this is now mine. I claim it. I'm gonna try and hammer and pit the thing.
Okay.
How do these things react to this?
As your hammer and pitten goes into this, the container of the greenish black material begins to glow, and the metallic peacekeepers stop what they're doing and all just turn to face you as a
I
group.
don't think they like that.
I just point my hammer at them, just like, no, you wait your turn. He's pissed. He is super pissed.
They all take a single step forward towards you.
Guys, you're Elodie, you might want to turn around.
Indeed. I can't see any of this.
And
I don't even have the vision to see them.
And I will say, as you try to hammer and pit into this, you don't even leave a scratch on the glass. At least assuming it is glass.
I'm gonna go a lot of the automatons and like, oh, don't worry, you're just seeing things. It's the flicker of light down here, and I'll make a strange flickering light in front of his eyes. See if it disorientates him with a hypnotic gaze. Maybe it will.
They haven't said anything, and they don't seem to even look at you.
Oh.
And as soon as Midas steps away, they stop. They just and turn back round.
Hello.
What is
Are
the
you
point of
are you
this?
like caretakers down here? What is this thing?
They all say
You-
nothing.
You don't even have a way to communicate. Oh man.
What the hell is this thing?
I don't know, but I'm not sure if we're supposed to have found this. But whatever it is, it makes me feel very small. Even smaller than what I already am.
It's at that point that the metallic peacekeeper you left upstairs just sort of pokes its head and goes, are you enjoying your swim?
Yes.
Yes, it's going swimmingly.
I believe it is time to leave and report your findings to Shooter's Metaleye.
He doesn't know about this place?
I am sure he is well aware of the swimming hole of the grotto.
Wait, you're not seeing what we're seeing?
I'm also quite impressed that all except Smush is talking. You appear to be underwater.
I'll talk to the others like, guys, I don't think this thing even knows what's down here.
It certainly doesn't seem to be aware of the four of its kind down here. It hasn't paid them any regards at all.
Guys, what if they're like blind to it or something?
Last thing, because we haven't tried it. I open the lid. I open the lid. It's the last thing we haven't tried.
Make me a dex save.
Hell yeah. 17.
You do like failing my saves, don't you?
That's
Oh,
a
no.
high roll.
I know.
But this is out of our level span,
I-
whatever it is.
I am going to bolster myself. I'm pretty sure I
But
can
we-
do that.
We
Yeah,
clearly
you
won't
could
be
do your
like
psychic
the
bolt,
area.
Shane.
What is it? I can add psychic bolster. Yeah, if you fail an ability check using a skill or a tool. Oh no, that's ability checks.
Not saves.
That's
Oh dear.
I'm
Level
wondering
3.
what's psychic power?
The cogs are turning.
Like this is clearly how you activate the level 10 boss. Just gonna say. And it's obviously the DCs are stupid high.
Well, there's the damage you're taking from it as it electrocutes you.
Oh my god!
What's that?
Anybody else will try something, or just me?
Did we see that as well? Like a bolt?
You see a pulse of energy, and almost the gold itself seems to move and almost be what seems to generate the spark that
really?
goes through him.
It's
I'm
What the
just
heck?
gonna stand and laugh at Midas.
it's official. I'm coming back here. I'm fucking up this whole city.
It's obviously not normal gold, whatever it is.
No, this. I have decreed this. One day I'm going to come back and destroy the whole city.
Oh my goodness.
Just because of this statue here, and because they left it here.
You know, just Smush, actually, roll me a quick perception check. This be for something slightly earlier. Yeah. So as you're walking around and you got to the one next to the one with the platinum,
Yeah.
you recognized one of the. There are some platinum coins in it which haven't quite turned to liquid yet, and you recognize a couple of them as the ones that you yourself had.
Oh yeah, we got those from the drow, right?
Mm-hmm. These do appear to be like
Drow could have easily
drow
stolen it.
symbology, yeah.
What did the mint on them look like?
On one side a spider,
Yeah, okay, so they're definitely drow platinum
Yep.
currency.
and on the other side I'll say an eye.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm really, really unsure as to what all of this is about. I think this is feeding it though. Did it say anything to you, Midas?
It said, I don't know. I just got electrocuted.
On the statue when you talk to it.
Yeah, it said something about not good being good enough or
Nothing.
nothing.
Too early.
Yeah, something about being too early.
Maybe the
And
thing
wrong time.
Get good.
Yeah, it pretty much told us to get good.
yeah, so what, that's ominous. I think they need this thing. This thing needs feeding more and more.
Yeah.
I don't know who would come down here. Like, I'm looking around. There's no other entrances in here, is there?
Wait, is this
Nothing.
is Shannara like the merchant city in the Underdark, and any currency spent is fed to this guy? Is that
Well,
what?
you
There's a
were
tax.
you were told that taxes had been increased recently.
There's taxes.
And Shinoris is from what you've been told of Shinoris, it is a merchant city at the center of the Dark Lake because it has almost equidistant travel from four nations' ports, and also that it appears to be a conduit of elemental energy. That is what attracted the Genasi to it.
How heavy do these things look? Like, how big are they?
They're about as big as you.
Do they seem heavy?
You're
Well,
gonna get
they're
electrocuted again.
the copper and silver ones, because they're full of seemingly more liquid, those appear very heavy. The platinum one probably appears the lightest, but you're not sure what the material they're made of is. They mostly appear to be made of what looks like glass, but you didn't do much to it. And they also have like this sort of bronze or goldy sort of like workmanship.
So for things to be liquid, they have to be hot. So I'm gonna grab a rag around my crowbar, and I'm gonna try and pry the platinum one into the water where it's freezing cold.
This dude just doesn't know when to.
See, you get power when you're in freezing cold water.
Yeah. Athletics check. With advantage, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, -1. Well,
It-
-1 to my roll,
It moves slightly.
and I'm going to bolster that.
Okay.
Yeah. Ah, it doesn't roll it for me. Which one do I click? Yeah, no, it's 22.
It tips over,
Into the water.
lands in the water, floats there for a moment, and then the strange tubing almost seems to pull it back into place.
I just flip off the statue. Come on, guys, we're going. This place sucks.
Oh, I'm confused then. If this is all the tax, the gold, the silver, electrum, platinum, what's green? Have you ever heard of a greenish blacky currency, guys?
No.
Can I do
No?
a history or something to see if I can think of any metal that would be
You
that
can
tin?
certainly give me a history check, I suppose.
Yeah.
I will guidance it as well.
Can I do some sort of check for currency as well? Because I'm all
Yep,
about
you can go for a history check.
17 for me.
16.
A greenish black sort of thing. You've not heard of that in terms of a currency. I mean, you've heard that like copper can go like a greenish color over time, and some other materials can oxidize and become like that. But based on its positioning, it would almost seem like it's more valuable than platinum.
Ah.
But you've not heard of anything, and the only other thing you've seen with that same glow is these peacekeepers at the moment, who did take a couple of steps towards you once you tipped the thing in, but as you've walked away, they've stopped.
Escar.
So
Or Calcum.
it appears of them all, like, and Smush could probably explain this because he went near it, almost appears to have a magical, almost sentient nature to it, to where you got that feeling. Almost. So, if it is a metal, it's possibly magical.
Do you,
I
Um,
didn't prepare to take magic today. Otherwise,
do you not have identify?
no.
Damn.
Wait, but detect magic is a ritual. Do I? I still need to prepare it.
Not as a wizard, you don't.
I can cast any ritual, even if I've not prepared them for the day.
Yep, yep. It's
Yeah.
one of.
Okay then.
It's
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of. I can't remember what it is, but that's one of the advantages of wizards. Is that? Yeah, let me just get it up because just gonna.
Well, might be in there somewhere. It's just in such a wall of text.
You can cast a wizard spell as a ritual if that spell has the ritual tag and you have the spell in the spell, but you don't need to have the spell prepared.
You're right. It's right there. Ritual casting. Fantastic. I didn't realize that. Otherwise, I would have been doing that all this
Yeah.
time.
That was one of the things I did with that whole round quite a bit because it's just like, that's why I was like such a ritual hunting person.
Yeah. Like as well as Midas is crowbarring, you can just hear Smush going, zim, zom, zim, zom, zim, zom, zim. And he's finally finished the ritual, and he's cast Detect Magic. Gives me a
Yeah.
much better idea as to what this thing is.
Okay, so there's definitely a sense of transmutation magic, I would say, as well as enchantment. The strongest magical pulse is clearly from the big thing itself, as well as that one container. And now that you're looking at it, and perhaps have mentioned its magical nature, for Jora, I will say, you have heard of one black metal that is supposedly rarer than platinum. You don't know where the green would come from,
Right.
but you have heard of adamantite.
I will mention this.
So,
Yeah, I remember
considering that's hardness, you have no idea what could have turned that into liquid.
Yeah.
Because that would require some insane heat.
Yeah, I will say this. Yeah, I remember reading about a metal called adamantite, I think it was called.
Adamantine.
Yeah, that's the it's. As far as I know, one of the hardest metals around. If this is what it is, that's you've got to have some insane amount of heat to even start melting that.
Yeah,
Let alone even in a
because you know that I'll say now that you're beginning to think on this, you know that pure raw adamantite, which is normally found from meteors from space, and in rare mineral veins in areas saturated with magic. It can sometimes be found in spheres trapped within solidified lava flows.
I don't like this one bit, guys. And I don't like that it makes me feel small and insignificant. You know what, Midas? I'm with you. Get that crowbar. Come with me.
Okay. I'm cool with this.
All right. Take that thing in the drink.
Okay. We need a plan for this. We need to double up on this.
Oh, don't you worry. And you see Smush is already pulling out a scroll.
Wait, what are you doing?
I'm getting ready for when that thing falls in the water.
Why? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'll see.
All right. So I
Hey, give me that athletics check with advantage. And does anyone else want to assist with this?
Mush can just be stood on top of the crowbar.
Elodie, do you want to help in any way with this?
Yeah, I'll join in. Why not?
You gonna bardic or are you gonna
Body what?
inspiration or?
Inspiration would help him, yeah.
I already have advantage, so advantage wouldn't really help.
Yeah, body inspiration.
Give him a little sing song so he can flex his muscle.
Sing me a song, woman.
Now we gotta give you up.
I like it. Right, let's look this figure. What am I doing? Athletics with advantage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe some guidance as well from Jura. Oh, he's just aced it. That's good.
That was it a D6?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll guidance this.
Plus a D6. Plus a
That's a 10
D4.
extended.
So we're talking.
There's your guidance.
Oh, you're okay. So not.
Yeah.
So
well,
20, 22.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
knock this as well.
Oh, God.
I'm putting everything into this. We're doing this. 24.
All right, shove it out as far as you can into the water.
Yeah. Shove it in as
Okay.
far as I can, and the moment it goes in, I'm gonna also quickly swipe at my rapier and cut for the vines.
Oh my god, he really went hard. How deep is this water, out of
Doesn't
curiosity?
appear to be too deep because you can see the bottom, maybe like 15 feet or so.
I'm just gonna sort of walk away as if I've got nothing to do with this. Just sort of stand to the side. I have nothing to do with this.
Particularly as you notice that the metallic peacekeepers have began to mobilize towards you.
No, we don't have this.
Right, yeah. So the next thing I wanted to do, I need to get over to it. Yeah. Well, I was gonna. Can I have been on top of it as you shoved it over, like holding on?
I mean, did you
If
want it to
so-
be slightly less far than it is?
Yeah,
I'll move it a little bit closer.
Anywhere's fine. I just
Yeah,
want to
if
be.
you want to be, yeah.
So I could just use this. I'll have to probably get myself back, but easier to start out on top of it. And with that scroll I've already pulled out and I'm ready to cast, I'm gonna use the scroll of a movable object.
Ah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Touch an object. Hopefully waiting no more than 10 pounds, maybe. Yeah. See?
Hmm.
Can I use the spell? Yeah, you can. Oh, well. Maybe
Yeah.
on the lid or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's up to you if it works or not.
I am gonna have you roll me an intelligence check.
Okay.
Because whilst this should succeed based on its weight, I'll say,
Okay.
at least on the bit you're casting, something seems to be trying to resist it.
Really?
Yeah. The spell successfully cast. You see I'll say the lid of it. You
Yeah.
see, like, because you got detect magic up, you see that sheen of magic, like there. And then whatever this is inside it pulses and almost seems to eat that magic.
Whoa.
But for now, at least, it doesn't move back.
Cool.
It
Okay,
just
I think it
leaves.
worked. Quick. Here, grab this rope. I'm gonna toss the rope. Actually, I've got 10 feet of string as well. But the rope's probably easy. Yeah, I'll use the rope. I'll mage hand him the rope and then tell him to pull me back.
I'll
Pull
do
me
that.
back. Quick. Pull those things. Catch up to us.
I'll pull Smish back.
Yeah. It worked.
Does the vine seem to be going to grab for it, or?
The vines don't appear to be doing anything yet. They appear to be flailing. There doesn't appear to be any liquid pouring out like before, which is strange.
Get out of here.
Does the urn move at all, or is it still?
Not at the moment. Seems to be there.
Alright.
Hey guys.
We
We're
All,
just gonna try to
all
sidle
four
around.
of them raise a hand towards you, and I need a charisma saving throw from each of you.
Oh, shit.
No.
I didn't do anything.
What have we done? He did
What?
cast
You're in the area of effect, unfortunately.
What have we done? You know what? I'm gonna use my last. Oh, wait, that's a saving.
save.
Oh no,
Okay, so Elodie needs to as well.
my bad. Oh no.
So, Elodie and Midas, you feel an immense sense of calm wash over you. To the point... Actually, just let me check something with Elodie.
Yeah, because I think they've got. Isn't Silver Tongue? No, that's just.
No, I'm checking something. It's a racial thing.
Oh,
Yeah, you can roll again, Elodie.
Yeah, because you've got advantage against being charmed, which is a lot better.
Yeah. So only Midas has this effect on them then. You feel a deep sense of calm wash over you. And immediately you feel your body almost go numb, your mind go almost blissfully blank, and you are incapacitated and unable to move.
All you hear out of Midas's mouth is just a dribble of "fuck you, fuck you, fuck
The one that used this, because all four raised their hands, but only one seemed to use this, stands there. The others all move over towards Smush.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the heck away from them. Being Midas. Like, someone grab Midas. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna try and jump out of their way, like disengage from them.
Yeah.
Probably just run through their legs.
Okay. I'm going to say at this point, before you move any further,
Yeah.
we're going to make this initiative. It's not necessarily a combat initiative, but...
Okay, you want to go back?
Yeah, so we'll just see, just for timings and stuff.
I'm up first.
Okay.
Or maybe yes.
What's that? Where is it?
Or yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Nope, Midas is, but Midas can do nothing. Nothing.
At least we're all kind of going first. Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yep. So Midas, you can do nothing, and your mind is completely blanked. Essentially, you can't think, you can't move, you can't. You're just calm, perfectly calm.
I'm just repeatingly, calmly saying that cuss over and over at them.
Yes. Elodie,
Howdy.
you're up next.
What do you want to do in this situation?
Grab him and run.
I kind of want to grab Midas because he's kind of got a mush brain at the moment, and
Yeah, you can do.
kind of try and get.
Okay, so you can move at half speed whilst you're dragging someone. So you so you can move 15 feet whilst dragging them.
So you can move 3 squares basically.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Diagonally.
So 1.
Yeah, but I've got a dragon.
Yeah.
Mr. Midas.
2.
Yeah.
Well, that's your 15 feet, because technically if you've got a diagonal, it's 5, then 10.
Yeah, so hopefully I'm not really in the sight of that one in the middle
If
that
you,
much.
if you're not,
If you're not planning on doing anything else, you can actually use an action to dash, and that'll give you another 15 feet if you drag and missed it. Unless you have a plan that you're going to do.
Yeah, I think it's probably best that I do dash out of the way. So, like,
Well, that
go
interesting.
further up.
are you still dragging me or?
Yeah, still dragging you.
That'll apply properly. There you go.
You better thank me for this.
This would be dragging you.
Yeah.
Okay. Smush, you're up.
Disengage and run through their legs.
Yep.
And I'm gonna get out of there. Up the steps as far as
Yep.
I can get.
Okay.
I can get to there.
Jura.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stand there, put my hands up, and go. I did nothing. What's the matter?
They don't seem to pay any attention to you.
Okay, I'll just stroll past them then.
Yep, you're able to do so. Yeah, they completely ignore you. They don't even react as you move away. Brings it to the first one of these turns.
Leave me alone.
It doesn't dash after you, it just walks slowly towards you.
That makes it more creepier.
The second one heads up, gets right to the edge of the water, goes to grab Smush, but Smush has just got above the water and it stops, not going above it.
Okay.
And now the one that had Midas in its calming mist. It walks over, raises a fist, and swings. It misses with its first strike. It misses with its second. But I just realised it had advantage. So let me roll. So that'll be its first attack. Let me roll the second. Because you're incapacitated, so.
Oh no.
Yeah, and.
Oh. Oh my god.
Yeah, and fortunately, it hit Elodie. You would notice this. It seems to hit Midas with an almost precision. Like, not like... From the one upstairs, you can see these can hit hard, but this one seems to hit with a perfect precision for a knockout punch. It's going non-lethal. Then it simply looks at... Which is fortunate because you're incapacitated, so that'd be auto-crit. Just saying. Here, just sort of looks at you, Elodie, as you and stares at your hand on him.
Nothing to see here.
And the other one just sort of walks over, gets nearby, but not all the way, and just sort of stares at the hand as well. Midas, no death saves needed from you. You're just unconscious. Elodie, what would you like to do?
Get out of there!
You could run. You could drag me, but you might get attacked. This is try and check. Well, they have thoughts. Which, well, it's up to you. You could run, like everybody else is doing. Depends how nice of a person you are to someone that you've pretty much just met.
And who got themselves into this situation, seemingly.
Hey, no, I was ready to leave until Smush was like, "Yeah, let's go do this."
I'm sorry, Midas, but every man for himself.
Good lord. What?
Yeah, you managed to run away, and with that, the combat ends because they do not chase you, they do not react. Their gaze, all you see is that as soon as you let go and you don't go for hostile actions, they just move to grab Midas and bind him.
Covering. Oh no.
No.
And I'll say Jura because obviously all of this happens in like the same sort of 6 seconds. Jura, you'd be the only one to see this. The moment you guys all finish essentially leaving Midas is dealt with, the container is pulled back into position.
Are they doing that, all of them?
What, the container?
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
mean,
the three of them are. One of them seems to just be staring at you, Smush, through the water level, but not going to you.
Can I get over towards Midas about 30 feet from him and cast?
Yeah.
I'll cast Mage Vine and I'll try and wrap the. I've got a rope as well, so I'll wrap my rope around him.
Yeah.
And then I'll try and give the rope to everyone else. I'm like, let's not go down there, but pull him this way instead.
Okay. You can certainly try.
Try and drag him, guys. Come on. I need a hand with this. I'm not very strong. Eh.
Yeah.
Too heavy because he's carrying all the gold. Hello.
Oh,
I'm handing the rope to Jura.
Oh, I'll help.
I will also help.
Okay, so Jura, you can roll with advantage.
Me or Midas? Not Midas, sorry, Smoosh with advantage because I'm helping as well.
You can roll with advantage. Smush tried, and then he handed the rope to you, and Elodie's helping you.
Heavy.
I mean,
And again,
yeah, you can roll it.
Strong.
Oh, oh no.
Okay, so your only chance is, will this one fail its strength check to beat a 6? No. Basically, as you go to pull, it just sort of looks at the rope, grabs hold of it, and yanks it, and immediately goes out of your hands.
Oh, God. Okay, you can keep the rope. Maybe you can use it to bind more bad Midases. Oh, no.
The metallic peacekeeper up with you. I'm going to actually take you back to that map now. Let me just remove my from the map. Metallic peacekeeper up with you just sort of looks at you and just goes, You appear to be one short. Was he enjoying his swimming or did he drown? Do I need to get a lifeguard?
Oh
yeah.
no.
Yeah. He drowned. Nothing suspicious happened.
Wow.
That is a shame. We will have to arrange a funeral. Suitably priced, of course.
Wait, he's
Yeah.
not dead.
He's not dead, but he drowned. Wait, Elodie, I think your story is contradicting itself.
Oh, looks confused, but how is he that your words do not make sense.
Does not
Perh-
compute.
Perhaps you need some calming mist to calm yourself down after such a traumatic event.
I'm good, thanks.
It,
I'm good.
it raises a hand, and you see that little like container, and it's just like, In which case, let us leave. The grotto is still off limits, and you have completed your task. You should report to Shooter's Metaleye to get any compensation, which of course will be suitably taxed.
We
There's
can't just
always a
leave.
catch.
We can't just leave his body down there. Jorah, do you have any rope?
Let me have a look. Yes, I have 50 feet of hempen rope.
Oh my goodness,
can-
right, give it.
You can try that again.
I
I'm gonna
will.
go over there again.
pass the rope.
Slip the rope around Midas. This time around his neck. Because if this doesn't fail, then we might as well put him out of his misery.
Are you
Yeah.
attempting to retrieve his body?
Yes, could you help, please? You look very strong and metal.
I will assist. We do not want him fouling up the water table.
So
All right, everyone, tug of war this bitch. Let's go.
And he will. What's. I think he outstrengths all of you. So
Yeah, I'm going to cast guidance on him as well.
he has a +3, so we shall see how he does. It's a 16.
17.
Yeah. And then one of them will attempt. Okay, Midas is dragged 15 feet towards. So we're going to make this a contested thing. I'm going to say.
Is that tug of war? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it will try again. This body appears to be quite well secured. I will get it though.
Yeah, it's stuck in like seaweed.
Okay. And now two of them on the other end are going to
Oh
try.
god, really?
It's a
Oh.
tie.
It's a tie? Wait, where's the guidance at, yo?
Yeah, guidance and
Yes,
with
yes.
tap it
Yeah.
over.
Guidance.
Do something, yeah.
Okay, so that it's towards. Okay, one more roll.
Should have tied an escape balloon to him. That would've done it.
This is with guidance.
Okay, you are successful. You managed to drag Midas out of the water.
Thank goodness.
I
Alright,
I shall take his body to the trash chute for removal.
No, don't do that. It's fine. We have our own customs here, so we'll lay him to
He said he
rest.
wanted to be cremated.
Yes.
Oh my
Ah, excellent. I shall prepare the fire.
No. I mean, sorry, he wanted to be
He wanted
damn
to
it.
be cremated in his own ship. It's a tradition of his family's. We will
That's
deal
right.
with this.
It's like a mixture of buried at sea and incinerated. We call it burned at sea.
Understood.
I will do a deception as well, just to make it more believable. God damn it!
Insight's wisdom, right?
Yeah,
Can I do
I'm
perception
insisting.
as well?
Yeah. It doesn't see through it. It goes, an odd tradition, but I do not understand surface dwellers.
That's as well. Yeah, we'll carry him.
Yeah, and just sort of hands the body over to you, Smush, just sort of puts it on top of you.
I'll sling him over my shoulder.
Yeah.
There we go. Fireman carry.
Yeah, and then we will return back to Schnorris first,
Oh god.
where it resumes its position.
Oh, that was a mess.
I would suggest you store the body in a hygienic manner so that you do not get fined.
I say, all right, let's get away from this guy, and then I'll talk to the others telepathically, and be like, all right, I say we don't tell this guy immediately. We rest up first because Midas is in a really bad shape, and I don't trust that Metaleye guy. So let's go back to the inn, rest up, and then we'll figure out what to do in the morning. Sound like a
Dora,
plan?
do you inform them that you saw the container return back because you're the only one who would have seen that?
Not yet. I will do once
Okay.
where there's no possibly no prying ears.
I will drag you back to the bar
Okay.
and move my invisible characters out the way from the other group.
We need a room, please.
What are you talking about? You've already got rooms. What the
Oh.
hell happened to him?
He's
He's sleepy.
He
Yeah,
tripped
very
and fell on his face.
Yeah, looks like he got a dose of the calming mist to me.
Yeah, he's sleepy.
there was a lot of stairs. He fell down.
He's all tuckered out. Bless him.
Right, roll me a deception check against them.
I have advantages. We've all
Yeah.
sort of said it. Thank you.
Even though our stories were a bit all over the place. Like, yeah, he's tired and fell down the stairs.
Oh,
He's
you
that-
are lucky
He
because
fell-
they are.
He fell down the stairs because he was tired.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why him.
I'm just checking something with them. 'Cause
I'll put
they're-
him to bed right now.
Okay, they look at you for a moment and then. Jura, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh God. Okay.
Wait.
DC is okay.
Higher than
Hey.
nothing.
Yeah, they just look at you for a moment. They seem to believe the lie, but then they're like, something's off here. Something didn't quite match. So you feel they go. So where were you when this happened?
Oh, is
We-
our room down here? Is this
we-
it?
I mean, I'll
Yeah.
tell you straight. I'm gonna go up and get another one of those really fancy drinks that she made.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, we were doing a job clearing some mold down in the hole.
Ah, you were dealing with the grotto.
Yeah, I was like, yeah,
What-
we were dealing with that.
Did you find how the mold got in or what caused it to form?
No, we just dealt with it. You know, a bit of magic.
Oh,
I
it's
got
just cold down there.
quite
That's
badly hurt. It's really cold down there, though.
yeah.
I think I need a drink and some rest.
Okay.
Would you like another deception check, James?
No, I don't want another wisdom save.
And we're technically not lying. Oh yeah.
Yep.
We did say that's why it's down there. It is cold.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're just not telling
Yeah.
the full story.
Yep. So, nice statue down there, isn't it?
Not a clue what you're on about. I'm just
you
deadpanning this.
You feel as she says that, you feel a tendril in your mind, and you can tell. And she just smiles as you say that you don't know anything.
Yeah, I know
I
nothing.
know.
I'm sort of full on like
Hmm.
changeling for like shaped deadpan expression.
I thought you'd trust me at least, but oh well, I suppose.
He'll sort of think about it and just go, we're new to the area still. We don't know who we can trust after what we've been through.
Well, considering what you saw, it's not that surprising. I had no idea that was what was down there. Huh.
I mean, I'm not even on about that. I'm sort of saying about like the, like referencing the whole jail situation.
Yes. Well, don't worry. Based on the actions that have been taken, I don't think you'll be going back to a jail anytime soon. Though, perhaps. Yes. She walks over to you
Hmm.
and places a small piece of metal in your hand, which looks like it's carved into an eye, but the carving almost has like a greenish tint to it. Keep
Okay.
that on you when you go see old Metaleye. And if you get in trouble, I'll make sure that you don't.
I'm going to look at her and go, very sort of quietly, so this will mean we don't get in trouble with the guy running the place.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you to, sort of not being a sort of accusatory, but sort of, who are you to be able to have that ability?
Well, nobody said he was the only ruler of this place.
Hmm.
He just handles it for the most part. I prefer to just run my bar, but if things come to it, I have the knowings to deal with him. We've been friends a long time.
Okay, so it was a...
It's basically a green eye stone, would probably be the best way to describe it.
Okay.
And you went to speak to him earlier, I assume. That's how you got down there?
Yes, that's correct.
Did they appear... I suppose this is an odd question, considering you don't know them, but did they appear themselves, if that makes sense?
Did they? I was dealing with dogs and...
Smush informed you that he heard a second voice, which potentially either was possessing shooters was or someone else was there talking. Like that warned you about down there.
I will say that sort of, again, sort of very sort of quiet, hushed sort of tones.
Hmm. So it's as I expected then. Huh. And whatever it is making bigger moves than I thought and faster. I don't.
Hmm.
Didn't want to have to intervene, but it looks like I may have to. Hmm. Actually, you guys are the adventuring type, aren't you? And I imagine you've got a curiosity about what's going on.
I mean, we'd like to know, especially as I'm trying to get, we're trying
Hmm.
to get home.
Well, it's. I'll make sure that you don't get into trouble for any of this. You'll be fine. I'll keep you safe. But a direct investigation of this isn't something that I can get away with easily. I'm too well known a face to go around asking questions, sort of thing. And if I go sneaking into some place, I'm almost certain that shooters will have put fail-safes in to detect me, but he won't have for you guys yet. So if you guys are willing to investigate, then for your time here, your rooms will be free, and when it comes to rewards at the end of this, I'll make sure there's some extra nice ones in it for you.
Okay.
And I'll speak to the librarian and get you for you at least, Jura, because I imagine this is the important thing, I will get you access to his more secret archives. Might be something there for you. But that'll be after this is done.
Of course.
But keep it hush-hush, tell your group, and remember, whilst the walls don't have ears, there can often be things hiding on them that do. The birds are spies, the robots are spies, and not all of the Genasi can be entirely trusted. But if you are looking for people who I would trust, probably there isn't the stoneworker up on the next floor, whose name is temporarily slipped my mind. Adamant. He would be one I would trust, and I would also trust Torrid, though he's probably not going to be much help to you. He's a bit of a dick.
Okay.
And you can probably trust Brian. But other than that, I would be careful who you talk to and what questions you ask.
Of course. I understand.
But now, get some rest. You guys have had a long day by the looks of it, and you could do with it. Oh, and that mist will wear off from Midas shortly. It seems the physical damage might take longer to restore. They're very precise, the things, but yes. So, go rest.
Yep, I shall. I'll thank her for the information and for her trust, and I'll. Oh, I've got both characters highlighted for some reason.
Oh no, that was me. I was moving
Okay.
Elodie, because I assume Elodie wants to go in there as well.
I know it's trying to move both for me.
Oh, weird.
I don't know how I've done that.
Neither do I.
Probably because everyone has control over Elodie.
Yeah, I should probably change that. I will actually alter that whilst I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
All players observer. Jamie One, yes. Oh, no, that should work.
You just remember which room is yours.
I just remembered which room she came walking out of, and I was like, oh, yeah, I'll put
Probably the other room, yeah.
You're welcome to go into that room if you want to discuss anything before you guys rest. I'll say you can have a long rest.
Sweet, thank you.
I'm going to be spending a lot of that rest copying these scrolls.
Yeah.
I forget why I bought the scrolls in the first place. I just realized I wasted an immovable object, which I need to rebuy now. But
Yeah, I will relay all the information though. Crystal said.
I'm gonna.
I do feel like we can trust her.
You sure?
And it's at that moment, as you're making this discussion, Bibble walks in wearing his fancy new scale mail.
Oh, Bibble, looking fresh in your new bling.
Yeah, I feel tough. I feel like I could take on a dragon.
Well, let's hope we don't find a dragon, shall we?
But your name is far too long.
Christian, did you drag Midas into the bedroom, Smoosh?
Yeah. Well, I had help from a spell
Okay.
to actually lift him up onto the bed. Yeah.
Muscle
Yeah.
smush. Secret muscle mushroom. You use catapult.
It's got muscles.
He's like ragdolls against the wall, like.
Yeah.
No, anyway. All right. You know what else I'll do? For a ritual, I'll set up an alarm spell around us so that anyone except Elodie comes into the room. It'll go off. I'll put that literally right there. I guess
Okay.
yeah. kind of that shape. But what else? I want to start copying these scrolls into formulaic piles of soil and spores. So I can do. Let's have a look. Let's do detect thoughts. We're gonna need that. I feel level 2 spell. So that'll take 2 hours, I think.
Level 2. Is it of your school?
No, it's probably not enchantment. I don't know actually.
For each level of spell, the process is 2 hours. So second level will be 4 hours
Let's
and
detect
cost 100 gold.
thoughts as divination. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. Well, I'll spend 4 hours, I guess. Then.
Okay.
And I'll have to sleep in for a bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Anything else anyone wants to do before bedtime?
Have a couple of.
Yeah, I'll ask Jura for some assistance in guiding me. Just
Yeah, I'll guide it.
initially.
Yeah, it's fine. I can keep guidance in for however long is
Yeah.
needed.
Thank you.
Bibble's gonna leave and go get some drinks at the bar.
I'll call
He's
for Bibble
fancying his way.
I'll call to Bibble to bring me some back.
Yeah. He goes, right,
I'll tell him what
Yeah.
one I want, the fancy changing one.
You don't happen to have any more bardic inspiration, do you, Elodie? Or you used that all up?
I think they've only used 2 or 3 and they're
I used to.
yeah, so you should still have 2 left.
Okay, I'll knock on their door.
There's a knock at your door, Elodie.
Can you sing me a lullaby to help me sleep, please? I can't
Okay.
sleep without a lullaby.
Yeah, come on in.
Okay, thank you. Sit up on the bed.
What kind of lullaby would you like to hear, Smoosh?
A calming, soothing one, so that I can forget the strange alien golem of horribleness. Made me feel really small and insignificant.
Oh, I've got to search deep into my repertoire.
And to make me feel bigger again.
Oh my god.
Come on, you got this.
I can't think
Something
of
that bolsters my spirit. Or silence. Silence is golden.
She's running to Google.
You know what? This was a bad idea.
Lullabies. Lullabies.
Hush, little smush, don't say a word.
Yeah.
You don't have to come up with one on the spot if it's too
No, just roll a performance check and we'll see how well you do.
Just roll a performance check. She was really trying. She really
I'm
was.
so sorry, guys.
it's cool.
That works.
You've probably not been requested for lullabies.
Yeah.
I don't know how motherly Elodie is, but
Or perhaps for Smush, what would be a lullaby for him is not a lullaby for Elodie, so it just doesn't sit well on his ears. Who knows? But either way, it's not great for Smush.
what the hell? That's not Kumbaya.
I'm sorry, Smoosh, I'm a bit rusty.
No, it's okay. You saw some shit today too. You know that's probably why. But you know what? It's fine. I'll be fine.
Smush is like, bye.
Kind of like waddles out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your annoyance at the poor lullaby inspires you for this. I guess that's how you get bardic inspiration.
Is
All right.
that bad?
Let's look at that. Right. It's just to save some gold here. I don't want to. All right, intelligence check. Yeah. Oh my god, looks like I needed it too.
But these
D6
And a D4.
and a D4. Oh, there you go. That's plenty. Looks like I didn't need the inspiration. Oh, sorry, the guidance. Anyway, yeah, I managed to successfully copy down the scroll
Nice.
of the tech thoughts, and I'm going to prepare that immediately for tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's all I do over the
Yeah.
night.
Midas, you're obviously out of it for the full night.
Yeah, does he need like healing to be able to recover properly? Because I can give him something, couldn't we?
I'll just say Bibble gave him a point of lay on hands.
Oh, that's perfect.
Bibble's just Bibble walks over, not tries to wake up Midas, just like, hey, look at my new armor, and accidentally heals him, and it's just like,
lay on webs.
It's just like, okay, and just walks away, leaving a slight sticky residue on your body because he's a fish man.
Looking at Discord, and it's just like Smoosh went into Elodie's room for a lullaby, and she just screeched at him, and he went, "All right, bye."
Okay, thanks. Thanks. I hate it.
That was basically, it's like, thanks for nothing, bitch.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Just a little disappointed. That was all. I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
That's worse.
You know what? Actually, I set the alarm so it does include Elodie. She will set it off.
Yeah.
She comes anywhere near me in the night and screeches in my ear. So
I'm joking.
You stay out of the boys' room though. No, for real.
No girls allowed.
Yeah, Bibble comes in, hands you a dirt smoothie for your studies.
Oh heck
Probably got a bit of caffeine in to help keep you up for it.
Nice.
Caffeinated dirt, and hands Jura the fancy changing drink.
Thank you.
And sort of look has a drink.
Stuff.
Has a drink for Midas and just places it on the side because he's still asleep. It'll be fine by the morning, I'm sure.
I'll thank
Coffee
people.
Lux.
Have a drink.
I've not heard of coffee with
Yeah. A coffee wizard. So with that, you get your long rest, you manage to get your new spell, and you're ready for a brand new day. But I will say, considering where we're at, that does seem, although it's a little bit early, that seems an appropriate place to finish it before you get into some more stuff. But if you want to keep going, we can. It's up to you guys.
I can do something in the morning, I guess, when I inevitably wake up.
Yeah,
I've got some more spells to cast. That's all. Just whilst I've got them in my memory here, I want to cast Find Familiar. Oh wait, I've not done that yet, have I?
No.
Right. Yeah, so we're gonna do Find Familiar, and we're gonna summon a bat. I'm gonna take 10 minutes to do that and spend 10 golds worth of coal, herb, and incense.
Yep, so you managed to do that.
How much gold was it for the spell again?
100 gold.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's 50 gold per spell level, unless it's your spell school.
That's fine. I did have 100, but now that's gone. We're off. Okay, 0 gold left of that.
Do you have a name for your bat?
Ozzy.
Bartholomew.
Bruce Wayne.
I don't expect him to live very long, so giving him a name's just going to make me attached to him. So Familiar 01 sounds better. Sounds like I will be emotionally detached that way.
Okay. Familiar 01 it is.
No, no, I'll think up a name in the
And now
next
it's
time.
called Familiar 01 until you come up with
Yeah.
a name.
Just because I don't want to get attached. I feel like this bat's going to last like all of one session once we're out of the city. What
Why
else?
does that keep
I'm
doing
going
that?
to need to go buy some more dirt. Yeah. Because all I got was one spell scrolls. Sorted.
You now have. I'll just drag Familiar 01 on, and you should have control of it.
Yay. Yeah, I'll let him fly around the room.
One of the only things in the party that is smaller than you.
And I'll also just practice seeing through his senses. So you'll see Smush kind of like close his eyes and enter into the senses of the bat.
Yeah.
And the bat just goes into the dark caves beyond, kind of flies out of the room, out of the inn.
Yep. Somehow opening the doors.
Yeah, somehow like using his bat wings to open handles. Testing the range, going up to like 100 feet into the air, and also using the echolocation, which is a new sensation to Smush. Like he's never been able to see with sound before, and so he's like really excited by this this kind of new sense. And then he flies him back just as a little test pilot, and then lands back in his lap, and then opens his eyes again and goes, "Wow, that was really cool, guys. I can see with Squeaks now." No, I'm not mad.
You should name him that.
Squeaks. Oh,
Squeaks.
okay. All right, it's gonna be Squeaks.
Okay. Is that with the Z at the end?
Yes, Squeaks. So Bartholomew Sir Squeaks a lot is his full title. That was Squeaks for short.
I put his thing on. You can see his token. I put in the party. Actually, let me alter his token to be the same. Actually,
Squeak.
then let me drag him out again. There you go. Now you should be able to hold for him.
Squeaks the first. Nice. Cool. Perfect. Now you're gonna help us in the darkest places, and you're also gonna help us stop people sneaking up on us. Okay? Because you can hear them by squeaking, even when we're all looking down into a puddle, for example. Oh, Midas, you're awake. That's good. Now say hello to Squeaks.
The first thing Maya says, holding his head, is this whole city will be destroyed, starting with those goddamn robots. Oh,
Yeah, there's just a bat fluttering about the room.
No, he's not part of the city. You can't hurt Squeaks.
when did we acquire a bat?
Oh, this, and he points over to the brass bowl that he bought earlier, and there's the smell of burnt charcoal in the room.
Oh,
Squeak! I don't like him. Squeak!
and
You
why,
hear in your head.
and why did I hear a really faint screeching?
Oh, that was totally the bat and not Elodie singing a lullaby.
Oh, the deception check.
It's
I was kind of hinting that it was that, but yeah, by just being a bit sarcastic. But I mean,
Yeah, you see through it easily. It was clearly Elodie.
well,
uh-huh.
hopefully when we need a battle tune, she'll come through.
Yeah, maybe like soft singing's not her thing. Maybe she's like, you know,
Heavy metal.
yeah, like hardcore, like yeah.
Yeah.
There is
Just-
also a drink next to your table, Midas. Gold in colour.
Oh, I down it.
Yeah, it's that same gold drink you were given when you first arrived.
If
It's
he's
alcoholic, and that's what you started the day with.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere in the Underdark.
But you notice
Oh,
that Bibble never came back to the room. I mean, there's only 3 beds, but he still didn't come back after getting that one drink.
Also, I wanted to have done something in the night.
Sure.
Mostly, so when Midas goes to get his drink, like he obviously.
Well, the drink was left in here for him. That's what I meant.
Yeah, sure. But like as he goes to get off the bed and like stand up, he finds himself standing on this, straight on his bare foot.
Oh no!
There's a sharp Lego on the floor.
Do I
Yeah.
get a check or do I just stand on it?
You stand on it, I guess. It hurts, but it doesn't do any damage, I'll say, in this case.
God damn it! Let go.
Yeah, it's literally a Lego.
I let
It's
go.
left on the ground. Stand on it, and you just see Smoosh erupt in laughter. Gotcha.
Goes the bat.
Interesting thought. How strong is your bat?
Don't you touch my bat.
No,
I'm gonna have him disappear into a semi-plane.
no, hear me out on this.
No.
How strong is your bat?
He's probably not even as strong as me. Like, and I'm not strong.
Yeah, but you're tiny.
So's
It's
the
so
bat.
fat.
The bat's
Let me-
even smaller than he is.
Yeah, it's like a baby bat.
All
It can
right.
hold like it could probably hold like a penny.
I was wondering if I could tie a rope between the bat and Smoosh and make Smoosh fly.
It could probably hold a bit of fruit. That's probably the best it can do.
Yeah. There's a mushroom in its claws for smush.
No.
Anyway. Well,
And I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it drinking my blood in the night, by the way, because I'm made of fungus. So a bat's kind of a perfect little familiar in a way.
so when we're going back down there to destroy those robots,
Oh no! You got knocked out in one punch.
yeah, but they sprayed me with water.
At this moment is when I will tell them, oh, by the way, the one that you left out in the water, yeah, that came back on.
God damn it!
I wasted a whole straw for nothing.
Now
Should've
Midas
really
is awake, I will fill him in on what Crystal told me.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like sounds like they got like a little secret organization.
Yeah.
You know,
Something not right.
like I don't know, like the Sonora's people, or the peoples of Sonoris.
Mm.
I just start walking out.
You step on the Lego again.
Ah, God, it stuck to my foot.
Yep. But you
Well,
find
your toy up.
Bibble passed out with like a bunch of drinks in front of him.
It's yeah, drag it from my inventory into Midas's.
I test where Bibble's foot is, like hovering, and I place it underneath Bibble's foot, like not into the foot, ready for when he wakes up. He steps onto it.
Okay, so you wanted me to drag that over onto Midas's sheet. Okay.
Midas doesn't have it anymore. Bibble will probably end up with it.
In which case, people can choose where to put it.
But
Just go from pie member to pie member.
yeah, if Bibble wakes up, he's gonna step on it.
Yeah, Bibble just appears to be completely passed out from it, though. Just like,
Was he drinking all night? Drinks
yeah.
like
Ha.
wait.
I mean, to be fair, his entire home and family did get wiped out by giant ooze monsters, as Crystal says.
But he took it like a champ. So, how are we gonna destroy these robots?
Well, you don't want to destroy the robots. The robots are fine.
No, they're not. They suck.
No, they're just... Well, the ones that hit you were corrupted by something, so you need to deal with what corrupted them.
And who corrupted them?
I don't know, whoever corrupted shooters, I guess.
I'm just having my bat fly around, make sure he
Yeah.
can hear anyone who's trying to hide or sneak around.
So if we don't know what corrupted them, then surely we just destroy them, and then take their robot brains. Do robots have brains?
Smush just like puts his fingers to his lips, and yeah, a squeeze comes back and alerts Smush of one of those birds that are flying around. Good job, Squeaks. Guys, and I use telepathy, of course, with my skills. You can't be saying stuff aloud. They're spies.
All right, I'll link.
Yeah.
Are you well? Considering we just had we're at long rest, I'll link Jorah and Crystal, and obviously Smooch can just use his spores. So now we're all just telepathed.
Damn.
But yeah, how do we?
Be looking like an ominous bar. Everyone's just staring, looking at each other.
If we took one of them corrupted ones out, could we extract any information from them? They are just constructs, right?
I mean, you'd probably need a good artificer to work that out.
We know an artificer, don't we?
Now there's shooters and there's flicker.
Exactly. So destroy the robot,
But yeah,
which would be very satisfying. Take the brains, or whatever their brains are. Take them to an artificer. Extract the information.
I mean,
Know what the
they're-
hell is going on around here?
they're pretty tough things. I mean, you're probably if you manage to get one-on-one, you might be able to take one down before it brought all of you down.
Isolate one then.
But it just seems like it's the ones down there that are corrupted. Because from what I saw in Jura's mind, it seems like the ones up here couldn't see what was down there.
So the best way to go about it, if I saw correctly, is to isolate one closest to the water, destroy it.
They're taking out the robot.
They suck.
They're taking orders. They're just following orders.
Yeah, but that's
programmed them.
what I'm
And the
saying.
one who's programmed them is the one you should be going for.
Yeah, but we don't know who that is, do we?
Of course we do. Isn't it obvious?
Is it obvious, Crystal?
I mean, there's one person who's kind of obvious in this matter, I suppose.
We have a prime suspect. I
Yeah.
don't even want to say the name telepathically because it's so obvious.
Yeah, so you'll just have to investigate and see what you can find out. There might be other conspirators involved. Like I've never trusted that barber myself.
Exactly. We could. I just want to destroy those things.
You do realize that a lot of hard-earned tax money has gone into making those, and they're kind of one of the few reasons why this place isn't overwhelmed by drow or duergar or lizard folk.
Yeah, but the ones down there aren't helping, yeah, they?
No, but I'm sure once we've dealt with the problem, then they'll be fine. Plus, it might be good to study those ones down there so that we can find out how they were corrupted so we can stop it again in the future.
Well, that's what I was saying.
But we want to deal with the situation first, because they don't seem to want to come above the water, so as long as you don't go down there, they're not a threat. Right?
Yeah, but we could use the fact that they won't come out of the water as a safety net.
You want me to just make you a dummy version of them to let your frustrations and anger out on?
No. Whatever. Let's just go take out the big guy then.
He's a way bigger problem than some robots that didn't want you smashing their stuff. I mean, to be honest, can you blame them? We did chuck their precious green black pot into the cold water.
Yeah, that one's interesting. Like Jura said, it's probably adamantite, but mixed with something that's allowing it to stay in a liquid state.
Buggers.
Can't think what the green would be.
Not.
So, I wonder if it's ooze related in some way. She seemed to be running into those a lot.
Maybe. I mean, can acid melt adamantine? Melody, wake up!
Not normally. What would Elodie be doing in the morning as Smush rudely bursts open your door?
I mean, I'm already 4 hours late getting up anyway, so I'm
Yeah.
assuming
True.
Yeah.
it'd be 2 hours.
I'd just be like waking up. Lazy one.
Oops, sorry. Oh my goodness, you're not dressed. Sorry.
But I am dressed.
Oh, are you?
What would Smush know?
I would. I don't know. You just assume. I mean,
That-
I'm naked. Not.
They're probably wearing less clothing than normal because they're in like the pajamas or something still, I guess. But
Yeah.
so maybe they think that's their skin. Maybe.
Yeah, it'd be like pajamas. Like I wouldn't be wearing like the usual flamboyant clothing and armor.
Your underskin is showing.
I just knock on the door.
What?
Come on, we want you to annoy people with your screeching and bad music.
What do you mean screeching and bad music?
Smoosh told me. It's all good. We know.
Shut up, you were asleep. Sorry, knocked out because you're stupid.
I mean, I still have a point. Come on, we're gonna go annoy some people.
It's too early for this crap.
I just
It's 4 hours. It's probably like
I just realized it's 2 hours, right? Because I could spend 2 hours of a long rest.
yeah. So it's probably like 9 in the morning, something like that. But how do you know down here?
grab one of Bibble's drinks that he never managed to finish before he passed out and just like hand it to him. Come on, just that'll wake you up.
I take a sip of the drink that Midas has just given me. It's lost any of its fizz. And it just tastes very
It's just flat alcohol.
flat alcohol.
Oh,
Yep. Bibble
But-
wakes up and goes.
alive. Okay,
Bibble.
no, he's alive.
He goes, I want another drink.
He stands on the let go.
He stands on the let go, jumps like 10 foot in the air, which is quite impressive in his scale now. And then looks at it and goes, Tiny Brick, you have insulted my honor. And now I must hit you with my new big magic stick.
No,
He goes to strike you with his holy scepter.
See,
no,
Bibble
no,
gets
no,
it.
no. I hope
Bibble
the Lego is made of adamantine. That'd be amazing.
See, Bibble gets it. When something hurts you, you hurt it back.
There is a small bolt of electricity as he hits it, but it doesn't seem to damage the block.
Oh, really? I'll buy
Yep.
hand it and put it back in my inventory.
Yep. Right, hold now. Put that back onto your sheet.
It's just to annoy you. Fly around. Yay, there you go.
Just pass the let go. Bibble.
Smush
damn,
never
Elodie
truly.
got up in time. I was gonna go put it underneath next to her bed, but she's already up. I'll get you next time.
Yes, and as the party wake up and get ready to begin their investigations or their exterminations or whatever they decide to do, that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
Oh,
Because that seems a good place to end it before we get into anything.
yeah, sure.
Like combat.
Yeah. So, thank you all for watching. Join us Friday for our continued journeys in the Claude Coast, where we, I think, end the Claude Coast arc and begin the journeys to the elemental plane of Earth to seek
Okay.
Kashan's next path of enlightenment and find a diamond to bring back to Lavellan. That's lower on our priority list, but you know, what can we do? And then join us Sunday, where the Witchlight campaign with the Carnival cards +1 truly begins.
Ooh. See you later.
Bye.